Welcome to Space Cadets. Today I have a video, wanted to just provide a overview of Microsoft 365 in 2022. What it is, how you can make use of it, just so that if you've got questions about it, you maybe use prior products, you want to better understand how to think about Microsoft 365, what it is and what it can provide to you as well as to potentially your business or teams. This is a quick explainer for you. So with that, let's jump in. So first, what is Microsoft 365? Well, it's a SaaS, big S, two lower A's, big S, software as a service application platform. It includes a number of productivity products as well as some back-end business administration and cloud storage tools. Now, I know that's a lot of terminology, but in essence, it's a package of software applications that Microsoft bundles together and sells to you on a monthly basis, a monthly subscription fee, as opposed to a one-time big purchase. So a couple of things to bear in mind here. First and foremost, this video, it's intended, maybe if you're looking at Microsoft 365 for personal use, maybe you're thinking about it if you're a student or perhaps just for your own personal work management, etc. Separately, this is also for if you are a small business, medium-sized business, someone who is looking to potentially leverage the Microsoft 365 suite for your company. This will give a little bit of an overview of how to think about it, what it provides for you. A couple of things to really keep in mind first and foremost. This is going to be a brief video. This is not covering everything. Microsoft 365 is huge, frankly. It's a giant beast and it's continuously added to. So just bear that in mind. You're not going to understand all the details and nuances coming out of a simple, quick explainer. I'm not going to be diving into the individual products in detail here. Probably have later videos that'll talk about some of those. This is really thinking about it as a kind of a comprehensive package and what that means, what you get. So just a quick bit of history and an explainer. Historically, you had Microsoft Office applications, Excel, PowerPoint, Word, Access, etc. And you also then had Microsoft would have additional software that would be on-premise applications, Exchange Server, Active Directory, Windows Server that would manage some of the back end. Those pieces, at least in the higher tier platforms, are now combined in Microsoft 365. So you still get those core Office applications, but it also includes some of the back end, particularly for business administration components and email management that were separate really from those Office applications. Microsoft 365 also works across a variety of devices. Because it's a subscription service, you can tap into it kind of anywhere you can log in and provide your credentials. So that means that you can access Microsoft 365 applications or tools on your Windows laptop or desktop. You can access it on a Mac computer, on Chromebooks, your iPhone or Android or mobile devices and iPads, etc. That's one of the nice features of it is it does have a lot of flexibility to kind of tap into, in whatever manner that you work. 365 is kind of having three core sort of components. So the first one is I think what most people are familiar with, your traditional Office applications. So that's Excel, PowerPoint, Word. You could include Access in there. You have OneNote, your note-taking item. The second sort of category of functions that you get is sort of the collaboration and storage. So that's really OneDrive, which is a cloud storage-based service, so you can access files, right, and keep them backed up in essence in the cloud. That's Teams, which is a bit of an instant messaging and video conferencing equivalent to something like Zoom or Google Chat or Hangouts, Slack. And then you have SharePoint, which is an online repository. So that's kind of the collaboration and storage component for Microsoft 365. The last area kind of includes a number of miscellaneous and additional items. And you could break these down into further subcategories, but really that includes some additional capabilities that you may not even realize was there. So they have like a survey taking tool called Forms. They have Clipchamp, which is a video editing item. They have Stream, which is a component to be able to store and manage videos that you have for your organization. And then they have more IT administration components in this space. So that includes what's known as Microsoft Defender, which is a antivirus, anti-malware kind of endpoint detection security item. There's Intune, which is a mobile device manager, meaning setting up iPhones, Android devices, etc., other computers, and defining how they can access different pieces of information. And you have autopilot, which is another component to help with automated setup of new devices, etc., and getting them aligned to, let's say, an organization's infrastructure, getting them signed in. And Microsoft 365 comes in a number of permutations and combinations. So you can see here there's kind of a personal and family oriented structure. Businesses, this is really for any company that's about anything below 300 employees. Enterprise is for larger scale companies, so anything over 300, that's kind of Microsoft's delineator of where it makes sense to transition between them. And then they do have versions and iterations pricing for nonprofits and education that are distinct. 365 personal, there's really two options. It's pretty simple. There's the personal license, so it's $7 a month. If you pay it yearly, you effectively get 2 months free. It's $70 for the year. And on the other side of the fence, there's the Microsoft 365 family, which really means that you can apply up to 6 users, and you all get the same benefits. What that includes: 1 terabyte of cloud storage through OneDrive and all of the Office applications, the desktop Office applications. But I'm not going to describe the Microsoft 365 enterprise licenses. It's a little outside of the scope for this video, but I will talk about the business offerings that they have here. And there is a good amount of overlap, a lot of common capabilities between these business licenses and the enterprise E3, E5 versions. So I'll start here with Microsoft 365 Basic. And really, this is almost a more kind of a comparable product to what you get with Google Workspace, where this is entirely web-based infrastructure. And what that means is you're not getting the desktop computer versions of the Office applications. You do have access to the web-based versions of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and those are pretty capable, and I would say they're probably comparable to what you get with the Google Workspace products. You do get 1 terabyte of cloud storage for every user that you have, and you also get email via the Exchange, Microsoft Exchange, which is kind of the back end for the Outlook application. So this is really most analogous, kind of comparing to the Google Workspace, because it is web-only applications. The next step up, the Microsoft 365 apps for business, this is a little bit different. This is how you gain access specifically to just the desktop versions, and you can use the desktop versions of the Microsoft applications. You still get the 1 terabyte of cloud storage, but you're actually missing a lot of the email components that you get with Microsoft 365 Business Basic. You're not getting that Exchange backend that you do with the Business Basic. Microsoft 365 Business Standard. This is a lot of companies is going to be kind of your starting point. This is where you're going to get the desktop applications as well as access to the web versions of those applications. You're going to have the collaboration tools that I spoke about previously, specifically Teams and SharePoint. Teams being that kind of instant messaging and video conferencing tool set, and SharePoint being an online document repository that your teams can use. So this also brings in a few additional components like forms, which are online survey-based tools that you can create, and you're also going to be getting bookings, which is a kind of equivalent to Calendly, if you're familiar with that. In essence, what it is, it's the ability to create, allow customers or other users to book time on your calendar and directly integrating with your own calendar. It's a pretty smart and slick capability. Lastly is Microsoft 365 Business Premium. For any type of steady, consistent business, this is going to be kind of the common starting point. You get everything of the prior iterations, plus you get some additional back-end system administration capabilities that can be very, very helpful. Specifically, you get what's known as Microsoft Intune. That's what's known as a mobile device management application. And in essence, it allows you to enable and set up protected access to your documents from any type of device, an iPhone, Android, Mac, Windows PC. You can set it up so that even if your employees have their own personal devices, they can gain access to company-based infrastructure in a secure fashion. It has Azure information protection. Really what that is it's a cloud-based data protection capability. And it also, this includes Microsoft Defender, so a more sophisticated and advanced endpoint detection and response capability. And you can use the Microsoft Autopilot as well, which is used for helping to set up devices when you're sending it out to someone so that they don't have to do any explicit configuration on their own. And so that about wraps us up for the explainer for Microsoft 365. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you learned something along the way. I will say this is scratching the surface of scratching the surface for understanding everything that's kind of involved in this. It's a huge, powerful beast. You could spend hours on a singular product in Microsoft 365, and that is one of the nice things about where we are today. With a not crazy monthly subscription, this is for 365, Google Workspace, lots of options. There's a ton of amazing capabilities and tools that we can all tap into. So hopefully this helps give you a better understanding of what Microsoft 365 offers. There will be more in-depth explainers about particular products and things. We have a few items already on OneDrive that are out there if you want to dig into that a little bit further, some tips that you can use in that space. But I hope you appreciated the video. I hope this gave you something to think about. And if you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe. It's a classic YouTube requirement, right? And hopefully we see you again. Thanks.